Hello Jane. How are you doing?
Hi Tim. I am doing alright. Although, I am a little bit stressed out. I have to finish a research paper by tomorrow and I'm not sure if I know enough on the topic.
What's the paper on?
The history of women in accounting. I want to focus on some of the issues they face trying to enter into the profession.
That sounds stupid and you are going to sound like a whiny feminist. Women have it easier than men. All you need to do to get a job is dress a little skimpy and smile.
Alright smartass. You clearly have not read Professor Loeb's book, Our Past, Our Future. 100 Years of Certified Public Accountants in Maryland. Let us take a quick journey down memory lane. In 1899, Christine Ross, of New York, received the 143rd Certified Public Accountant Certificate, and became the first female certified public accountant in the United States. A few years later, in early 1909, two hopeful women applied for licensing in Maryland, Elsa Dutch and Florence Hooper. When the two were admitted later on that year, they became the first two women in the Maryland Association of Certified Public Accountants and joined a very short list of female certified public accountants in the United States. There had been 1,085 certificates issued before 1909, but only 7 to women. Not only were these two some of the earliest female members of a state accounting association, but they also were believed to be the first women to hold officer roles within their respective state societies.
Okay. But I am sure that after they paved the way, women flooded the industry.
Wrong again, dumbass. Although Dutch and Hooper pioneered the way for other women, the inclusion process was slow. Only 3 additional women, Catherine Cook, Belle Haywood, and Julia Hopkins, were admitted to the Maryland Association of Certified Public Accountants during the period of 1909 to 1940, even though a total of 412 certificates were issued in the state during the 1920s and 1930s. Women continued to face an uphill battle in entering the accounting profession. The well-respected and highly circulated Journal of Accountancy published an editorial piece in 1923 that openly claimed that women were not wanted as accountants, especially in the field of public accounting. In fact, many clients felt disrespected and slighted if a female was sent to do the work of a public accountant. Even the American Institute of Accountants, now known as the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, marketed the profession as a career for educated men, almost ignorantly so. The Maryland Association actually took pride in the fact that they had such a high involvement of women in their society. However, they perceived the female importance as being derived from the wives of the male professionals, not from the professional women in the organization. Going into the early 1960s, there was still a disproportionately small number of women in the accounting profession. In fact, in Maryland, only 2% of the 1,100 registered certified public accountants were women.
Wow! I had no idea women struggled so much to enter into the profession. Have you found any research that points to some of the underlying reasons for their exclusion?
Actually, there is some research in this area. There were clearly expectations of predefined social and gender roles that played out in the workplace. And thus, the traditional, institutionalized view of women as mothers and men as breadwinners deterred many women from pursuing any professional career opportunities. Furthermore, the culture that was, and to a certain extent, still is present in the public accounting field is also very telling. Many researchers liken the industry to a boys' club, an old boy network. They operate on a golf course, in the bar, and in the director's dining room, where the only woman visible is usually the waitress.
Man. It seems like you sure do know a lot about this issue, and should have no problem writing that research paper. Well, I am going to go bury my head in the sand some more. See you later.
Okay, bye.